Kristin Stevens, local Christian artist and also a newcomer to the Christian music scene. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. First of all, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Bernie, Missouri. It's a really, really small town. I lived there all my life, and I just recently moved to Dexter, came a little bit to a bigger town, and I work at the Lighthouse Christian Center. And there I lead praise and worship for the youth. It's the called, and that's what I do.
When did you first make a decision for Christ?
It was about 4 years ago. I lost my dad. He had a heart attack, and I realized that, it was a horrible thing to go through, and there's no way that you can get through something like that without God. So that's what brought me to Christ, and ever since then I've been digging into Him more and more every day.
When did you first start writing music or playing music?
I started writing music. What it was, I was, in one of those places where you feel complacent, and I just asked God to take me further, that going to church a couple days a week wasn't enough to satisfy me. So I began to pray, and I remember the day it happened. I was pacing my living room floor, and I was like, God, you've got to take me further than what I am. I gotta feel you more than what I'm feeling you. I had no idea it was going to be writing a song, but 30 minutes later, after just pouring my heart out to God, He gave me the song, and it's Hold Me on my album. And after that, probably a few months later, I started a fast. And whenever that happened, that's how I got my whole album. And He's just continued to bless me with songs, and it's just amazing what He's doing through that.
Your first single on this brand new album is called Jump. What's the story behind that song?
Well, there's no story behind it. I was actually praying and just thinking about everything that God has done for me, that He's brought me through, and you cannot help but to get excited, and I can't just sit and keep my composure. And whenever I think about everything that God has done for me, it blows my mind how He can take you from one spot that looks horrible and looks like there's absolutely no hope left, and just bring you to such to show you life, and to show you, an abundance of life, and all the happiness and joy that it brings. So that's whenever the words to Jump as, it makes me want to dance and sing, Lord, you are my King and I am yours. And that's what it's all about, just worshiping Him with everything you have, and letting Him know that you are completely His to do whatever He wants to do with you.
Bold move for everyone as they develop their relationship with Christ. And people have kind of had different experiences that have kind of pushed them towards music. Do you remember your first time when you just really had an interest in music?
Well, ever since I've been a little girl, I remember, my mom and dad would come in there and say the goodnight, I love you, and I was always told, don't forget to say your prayers. And every prayer that I had was, God, if you will allow me to sing, I promise that I will do it for you. And, He knows the desires of your heart, and He definitely gave me that.
Now, you've been, how long have you been leading worship again at Lighthouse Christian Center?
For about 2 years.
Well, have you written any songs specifically in worship or for worship when you were there as a worship leader?
No, not while I was actually up there, but during some services, there's just been something that like a phrase or something will just leap in my spirit, and while spending time in prayer, that'll always come back to me, and God will just give me a song through it.
Do you have any advice for young Christian songwriters or artists out there?
Yeah, I do. Just stay strong in what you believe, and don't budge. And it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, and it's not about what you can do, it's about what God can do through you. So that would be my advice, is to just stick in there and tough everything out, because the reward in the end is so much greater.
What Bible verse, or is there a specific verse that just sticks in your mind and that you think about daily?
Jeremiah 29:11 for sure.
if someone is maybe kind of on the edge of trying to make a decision for Christ, and they're struggling with a lot of issues, what would you tell them?
You know, just find out who you are and know that nothing that the world can offer you is greater than your relationship with Jesus Christ, and He will take you to levels that you never dreamed of.
That's one of the reasons that you were able to get to this place where you are and recording your very first album. And
I know. So excited about it.
All right. Well, again, thanks for hanging out here with us on Life Radio 90.3. Kristin Stevens, who has a brand new album out now, and also a brand new single off that album called Jump.
And I'm on iTunes and Amazon, and my CDs will be at Guiding Light Bookstore.
Okay, which is right inside the Lighthouse Christian Center.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Right now, here is that single, Kristin Stevens with Jump, here on your Clean Air in the Afternoon.